Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at Bitcoin. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so still looking for that potential of actually having a fourth and a fifth wave here. The key thing here though at the moment is that I'd want to see this progress from this point. Otherwise we need to just be aware that there is always the potential that the other count could be in play, which we talked about previously, where we've actually already completed this move into this fifth wave area here. And what we are looking for is the potential to see a deeper retracement into this green target box. So I'm going to go over that idea of actually having the extension here still. And what we'd want to see here is that effectively we'd be arguing that we have a corrective structure now into this low here. And like I said, I wouldn't want to see this level broken again if we are still looking for this fifth wave. If we do actually look to push up one more time and then break down one more time, it starts to become less likely that this fourth wave is actually in play, because the size of this wave 4 would be getting too big for my liking, and then it would make more sense that we actually just complete it over here and we are forming some corrective structure to the downside. So we're going to go over that in a second. Now, if we are looking for this as a fifth wave to the upside here, effectively we don't really have a lot to go off at the moment. What we could be arguing is that within here we have 1 2 1 2. This would be 1 2 3 4 5. So we'd be looking for effectively another 2 fourths and fifths to come in here. And what I'd be looking for then would actually be for this low to maintain here at this 29,858. See these additional legs to the upside here, and then get a three-wave move back to the downside, looking to find support. Now, potentially an interesting area could actually be this zone of this channel here. If we are looking for that interaction again to come back down and retest, I'd be keeping an eye on that as a potential target area where we could see price move into. If we are looking for this, our target area is still going to be up here towards this zone of this 33k to this 32,245. Now we do have some swing highs here. There's one sitting at this 31,765, and then alternatively we do have one up here towards this 35,000 area. There is also a high of relevance on the left hand side here, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on this. If we do see price move up into these zones, could be potentially looking for this fifth wave target. So if we are looking at this as a fifth wave, effectively, we need to see this progress up here for this target of this. Effectively, if we're looking for this fifth wave, like I said, I want to see this progress up here. I want to see this low protected, and I want to start to see good five-wave structure. At the moment, we just have corrective structure. Now, what we need to be aware of is, yesterday we were talking about a couple of things, looking for that potential that we could see a breakout, and we were saying that this could be a diagonal 1 2 3 4 5 into this area, but we needed to be careful because this could be a flat. And then we looked for that possibility that we could actually find support above this point, but we lost that. So it has now invalidated obviously that potential of extending from this point, and rather what I'm looking at is that if we aren't looking at this as a fourth wave that is completed, the next thing that is most likely to me is that we're going to see something along these lines, where this actually is just a W, this is an X, and effectively what we're looking for is a Y. Now we could actually argue that this Y completes over here, and this is why I'm saying if this is a fourth wave and we're looking to progress up, I'd like to see this happen now. The problem that there is with this count is that this Y wave took less time than the W wave, and was more aligned with actually this X wave length, to be honest. So the fact time wise we haven't actually come as deep as this W wave, what I'm looking out for is that there could be potential within this that actually this is just an A, we get a B, and then we still see a C wave to the downside here. Now there is a more bearish case here where this could actually be another 1 2, which we're going to go over in a second. But effectively, what I'm looking out for here is the potential that we could still find resistance in this zone of this 30,748 to this 30,421. So we've actually come up to this 50% level. Now this golden pocket is going to be an interesting zone here, because this is aligning with coming back into this channel area. Another reason why this is interesting is that if we look at this as A, B, and C, what we can see here is that if I throw this fib on here, so we have this 30,452 as a 1 2 3 6. We have this area here of this 30,523, which would be a 1.382, and then we have this 1618 sitting up here towards this zone of this 30,638. So these are all going to be targets. If this is actually going to end up being a flat correction here, where this is A, B, and C, potentially we could move up to one of these levels here, and look to actually reject off of that and then continue to the downside in a C wave. So that C wave, if we actually did move down from where we currently are, would actually be down here towards the zone of this 29,509. However, if we do look to push up higher here, potentially what we could see is if we came up to this golden pocket, it would be here this 29,592. If we came up to the 786, it would be over here towards this 29,776 area. So that would be looking for the potential of actually coming back down into this low here towards this 29,531. So going to be keeping an eye on this because this is where our Y wave 1-to-1 is based off of this being an X. So very interested to see if we actually get a rejection off this level and then look for that continuation down. So in the bigger picture here, what we are looking for is two things. So what we are looking for is that with this structure here, we could actually just have this as a bigger, either a W, an X, and a Y, and we're looking for this 26,205. Alternatively, if we come out here onto the 8 hourly, we can see here that we have this other target box over here. Now this would be looking at this as a flat correction. So what we could see is that this could be A, B, and then we could get a 5-wave move to the downside. Now, if we are looking at a 5-wave move down, if this is going to be running, we'd be looking for this 26,174 as a potential target area. Alternatively, if we do actually look to push down lower here, this 25,067 to this 23,337 is going to be our next target zone. So this is looking for a deeper retracement. Though we also need to be aware there is a potential way of counting this move as a completed correction here into this low, in which case this could actually be looking to start a more bullish move to the upside where we actually find support above the low and then see that continuation to the upside. So we need to be aware that these different possibilities are all valid at the moment here. And what I would be looking for is, if we are looking at this as a potential flat and we do actually see one more push to the upside here, some alternate targets that we have here is this 33,246 to this 32,369. Those are both other targets where we could actually see this X wave, or it would actually be a B wave if it's a flat, look to push up to before looking for that continuation to the downside. So this aligns with that idea of still getting that additional 5th wave up here, but we need to see if it actually manages to form here or if we just start to fall away. Now, we could also be looking for this to start to break down from this point, so we need to be careful. If we start to see 5-wave structure down, could be looking at something like this. Now, I'm going to flip back over and we're going to talk about that bullish scenario. And if we are completed here, what we'd be looking for would be the potential of this actually being a wave 1, in which case we'd be looking for this as a wave 2, and then looking for that continuation to the upside. Alternatively, this could also just be A, B, and C, and then we get a move up here towards the zone of this 34,142. That would be moving back down into this channel, looking for this as a 1-to-1. Alternatively, if this becomes 1-2, what we'd be looking for confirmation would actually be a move up here towards this 39,527 as a 3rd wave target. So going to have to keep an eye on this. There is potential that we could be looking to break out of this, but I'm still thinking that it would be quite likely to see a shakeout if we are going to actually see this, whether this is just, an extremely strong move to the downside here and then we look to push to the upside, or whether this actually moves down here, sweeps these lows, and then looks for that continuation up. We're going to have to wait and see. Okay, so having a look at the CPR here, what we can see is we're above these central lines. We do have this target of this S1, which is sitting in this area here, which is aligning with that idea of this being A, B, and C, which is actually up here towards this zone of this 30,569. So if we do see price move up into this level and we get a deeper rejection and we fail to hold these central CPR lines, which are sitting here between this 30,281 to this 30,143, what we could see is price could get gravitated to the downside here towards this 29,717, this area here of this 29,359, and this lower area here of this 28,86, this 28,522, as those are lines. Now, if we are looking for that bullish potential where we're looking to actually continue to the upside, what we could actually see here is price move up towards this 31K region. This area here would also be particularly interesting as a double top towards this 31,428. And then we have this higher target here, which would align with our 5th wave target towards this 31,000 922. So we're going to have to keep an eye on this. If we do see these central lines hold, potentially we can see price be gravitated to these higher levels. Alternatively, if we do look to break back down here and lose this, we could actually start to see price move down towards some of these lower levels. Now, these lower levels would actually align with that idea that we could actually be looking to break down directly, where we're treating this as 1-2. This is 1-2 here. And what we're looking for is ideally coming down towards this 1618. Now, the key thing within this is that actually, if we are looking at this as an additional leg here, and we're saying that this is 1-2, this would actually push these targets much deeper here, because now what we'd be looking for as a third wave target of this internal wave here is actually looking to come down towards this 28,660. So if we do see price fall off in a more aggressive way here and we move down to this 28,660, what this could actually do then is set a chain reaction off where we get this as 1-2, we get a 5-wave move down for a third, we get a fourth and a fifth, and then we'd be looking for additional fourths and fifths. So it's going to be key here, if we want to invalidate the potential of this bear option, to actually get back above this 30,994. Until we actually do that, there is potential that we could be starting to form these series of 1s and 2s here, which start to progress to the downside in a bigger 5-wave move. So we're going to have to just be careful until we actually break this zone. You know, possibly as long as we hold this low, we have that potential where we could have 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Then we get a retracement, and then we look to break out of this area. Alternatively, if we fail to and we just get this 5-wave move up here and then we look to break down, could be that WXY. But if we lose that level and we start to break down deeper, we need to just be very careful that we aren't forming this more bearish potential here. Okay, so back to those CPRs. Now, what we are looking for here on the weekly is slightly different. What we can see is on the weekly, we still have these lower levels here, and we were talking about coming back into this this top CPR line here at this 29,928, and we've done that. So if price does manage to hold this level, potentially we could be looking for upside. However, if we do see that downside come in here, I would be looking towards the central line at this 29,379. That would align with that idea of actually having another leg down here. We were looking for a higher target towards this low, but if it does extend out, potentially this could be somewhere to keep an eye on. Alternatively, if we do move down deeper here, we have the 28,844. We have this lower range here at this 27,334. That would be interesting to me in the idea of actually seeing a deeper retracement. And then we have these lower two lines, 24,211. And this one here, this 22,170, which are aligning with that idea of that flat correction. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. If we do look to push to the upside again in that 5th wave, what we do have is this line here towards this 32,500, which will be an interesting zone as a potential rejection area if we see price move up into this zone, because it would have swept these highs, moved up into this level, potentially even come back into this central channel line here, and that could actually look to complete this move if we do move up there. Alternatively, if we extend out higher, we also have this 34,569 as a potential target area as the S2, and then this S3 is up here towards this 37,662 level. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on that and see if we actually get a move up into those zones. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It is free to join. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.